Hi guys, in this video I'm going to be talking to you about the one stock I'm buying for September 2019. Let's get straight into it. Hi guys, it's Any aka the Not Trader, your friendly neighborhood swing trader, back again with another video. Remember to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that alert button to get alerts on all my latest videos. I've got Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at the Not Trader on all social media platforms. And if you check the description section below, you see a link to my mailing list. Join my mailing list to get priority access to my free training course and to also get weekly emails straight into your inbox of all my latest videos. I've also got a Discord group, which is a chat room called Pip Talks for any traders and investors to meet other like-minded traders and investors and talk about everything and anything to do with trading and investing. So the link for that is also in the description section below. So let's get straight into it. So my one buy for this month, well, it's not going to be my only buy, but the one that I'm most confident on is a JetBlue. Now you must be wondering, JetBlue again, because I know in May this year I also picked JetBlue and it didn't really do too well. Around May I bought it and then it just kind of selling off, going up, and it was kind of following this Fibonacci expansion levels, and it was retracing to these Fibonacci expansion levels and then climbing up again, but it wasn't really breaking out. I needed it to break out of kind of like this $20 mark, or is it $200? Yeah, it's $200 mark, and it didn't. And Primarily that was due to a couple of things. First of all, on the weekly chart, the 180-day simple moving average was kind of acting as like a support resistance, and I needed to break out of it. I knew that once it broke out of there, it was clear sailing. But then, obviously, macro level fundamentals had a big impact on the whole equity markets as a whole, basically. And we all know that what happened around August time. So around end of July, August time is when this trade war stuff started really ramping up, and it just affected the whole equity markets. Everything was selling off, as we would expect between China and USA having the trade war, the two biggest economies in the world. So it had an adverse effect on all the stocks. But if you look at my May video, all the fundamentals, all the technicals were all telling me that JetBlue was going to rise, and nothing's really changed. If anything, the fundamentals have are even more so in favor of a rally up now. And now that things kind of looks like they've settled down, we never know. We're always one tweet away from Trump from something bad happening, but we never know. It looks like there's trade talks going on, and both on the European side, which is the ECB, and on the state side, which is the Fed, they're doing everything in their power to stimulate the economy through the stimulus package. So that's whether that's quantitative easing, cutting interest rates. They're using every tool at their disposal to really stimulate the market to kind of help stocks and just the market in general rise, because this whole August period has had a really adverse effect. Now we know that it's kind of a law of diminishing returns. As we get closer to like a recession, the effect that the Fed or the ECB can actually have on the market is kind of like a law of diminishing returns. But as it stands, it's a good thing, even if it's minimal benefits. It's a good thing when stock share prices are rising and the governments of the respective economies are trying to support this rise in share prices through rate cuts and through QE. But anyway, JetBlue, if you just look at it from a technical and analysis perspective, this blue line has become like a support line. It's hit it once, hit it twice, hit it thrice, and it's bounced off of it each time. It's bounced off. It's kind of double bottomed here and started climbing, which is a good sign. While the 180-day simple moving average is flat, it looks like if price goes above it, it will start curving up. So that'll be also another a bullish sign. MACD line has crossed over the signal line and started curving up, which is also another bullish signal. And the RSI was oversold at this point, and now it looks like it's climbing. So all these different indicators are all kind of telling me the same thing, which is good. Now on the 4-hour chart, you know that I like to look at the 4-hour chart just for confirmation of a buy. And right now, price has hit the support line, climbed, retraced, and this second retracement, it treated the 15-day exponential moving average as a support, which is also another buying sign that I like to look for when entering a long position. But it's not all about the technicals. What about the fundamentals? Well, I was pointed to this Forbes article that really broke down why JetBlue is going to really do well in the next couple of months. So I'll leave the link to this article in the description section as well. But just to kind of give it an overview, a little piece of information that I did not know before after reading this article, I found it really useful, was that while a lot of American airlines used the Boeing 737 MAX. Now, if you don't know much about the Boeing 737 MAX, that was a fleet of planes that were produced by Boeing, obviously, and they had a software problem with the software that they put into the planes, and these software problems caused the nose of the plane to kind of turn down. But you don't need to go into the technical aspect of it. What happened is that because the software was malfunctioning, these planes were crashing, and there was a crashing, I think it was in Kenya. I think there was about 2 main crashes before there was an investigation into it, and they found out that the Boeing had kind of covered this up, and they knew about the faulty software. So now all of these planes, the Boeing 737s, have been grounded, and you can't fly them right now while they're trying to fix the issues. Now, this is a big headache for any of the airlines that bought these planes, because they can't use some of their fleet. So that means that their operational logistical side has been they're not running at full capacity. But Southwestern Airlines, they run them. They have 34. American Airlines, United Airlines, they all have some of these planes. But JetBlue doesn't. I think Delta, Alaska, and JetBlue don't. So that means that they can run at full capacity. So they have a competitive advantage against their competitors, because some of their competitors, they have planes that they can't fly. So that's a good thing for JetBlue. Now, another thing is that JetBlue, they actually use a plane called the Airbus A320 and A321. Now, they're doing upgrades to these, and JetBlue has ordered up to 85 A321neo, so that's a new engine option. So they've just upgraded the engine, and they've ordered at least 85 of these. And what this does is that these new engines, or these new planes with the new engines, means that, well, the new engines also provide a 20% increase in fuel efficiency, which supports some 500 nautical miles of extended range. So what that basically means is that these planes have 20% more fuel efficiency, which means they can go 500 miles further. And what that means is that it gives them the option to fly to other airports at the same rate, at the same cost as it would have been to fly to an airport closer by. And because of this, they're now going to expand their the routes that they offer. And now they can allow non-stop travel to New York's JFK, Georgetown in Guyana, which is a South American country, and even to they're really doing a big expansion to South America as well. They're offering flights to countries that they weren't previously offering flights to. Once again, Guyana, Ecuador. So that means that it's a really good time to probably invest in JetBlue. They've got a competitive advantage against their competitors because they don't run a plane that's been grounded. They've got a new fleet of engines that they're introducing to their fleet that will give them 20% more fuel efficiency, and they are also expanding into the South American market and offering routes to airports that they previously weren't. So with all those fundamentals in play and also the technicals, I believe that JetBlue is a real good buy right now. So this is me, Any aka the Not Trader, signing out.